Right, the next job is to change the outer sill on the passenger side. The inner sill on the passenger side was pretty good condition, so I don't need to worry about that. To change the sill, I'm going to need to cut access here at the bottom of the rear wing by the B-post, and then I'll repair all that and finish everything off once that's done. There's one or two little repairs that need doing on the floor. There's a small hole here which will need an insert putting in. There's a patch, Mr. Patchett, the man who had the car before, that's got to be taken out and repaired properly, and there's a little bit on the flange at the front here which needs repairing. I'm going to take the volume of the seal off just to see if there's any more problems, but I don't think so looking from the inside. The sill itself, if you notice, only part of it was changed before. Our man, exactly as he does all his repairs, cut the front bit off but didn't take it all off properly, didn't do it properly, just welded this front part of the sill back on, cut it straight down at the jacking point, welded it on here, and then put absolutely loads and loads of filler on to make it look good. So that's all going to come off, and we're going to sort that out. While we're doing that, there will be a repair to the inner footwell, which again from the inside you can just see the wells coming from over here. He's put a patch right over the rotten bit, so that'll have to be sorted, and of course the A post will need repairing at the bottom, but all those are going to be tackled as one job. So right, when I get all this cut off, I'll make another video, but before I start cutting I'm going to make a door brace, and I'm going to brace the inside of the door to make sure that the door shut stays exactly the same as it is now. Right, I just thought I'd give a quick update on the progress so far. Obviously I've stripped the outer sill off and stripped the footwell panels out, and as always nothing is as simple as it seems, because when I took the outer sill off I found that the front of the inner sill was very badly rusted on the inside, so I've had to cut the front part of the inner sill away and manufactured a new piece out of 1.5 mm. I've taken the outside of the footwell off. That's a panel, I'm going to be replacing that. I've manufactured a new panel for the bottom of the floor, another small panel at the back which is ready to be welded in. The front of the footwell, manufactured a panel to go into there, and all that is tied together with this new sill panel which goes on there. So I've still got the A post to repair. I've got to put a new bottom hinge for the door into the A post, and once I've done all of that and welded all the panels back together, I've then got to put the outer sill on. Another quick update now, the panels are all cut, shaped and positioned ready to be welded up. When I took the outer footwell panel out, when I cut it I had to support the A post, because obviously I was cutting across the bottom of the A post. I've initially held it with a jack, got it to the right place, made sure the door gap was still the same by putting the door back on, and then I've now welded a post here which I will remove once the repair is all welded up. So that's just another quick look at what's happening, and then I'm going to start to weld the whole thing up. I've welded in the panels to the front of the footwell, the side of the footwell and the repair to the inner sill, and now what I'm doing is doing a trial fit of the outer sill, which is going reasonably well. I've put the door back on because obviously it's important to get the door gaps right at this stage, but before I can weld the outer sill I've got to a couple of little jobs that I've got to do. First one is to fabricate the panel that goes on here. I'm not going to weld it in until after I've welded the sill on, but everything's not as easy as it seems, because that panel's fabricated up, but it's short by a good 10 mil. So what I'm going to have to do is to cut it here, extend it, weld a piece in, and that's before I can start to put that on. Another job I've got to do is to repair and reinstate a bottom hinge. So I've got a replacement hinge mounting plate. I've got to cut some bits and pieces away so that I can get it in, but the idea is that that will go in there. I'll bolt it to the hinge, make sure my door gaps are right, tack weld it in, take the door off, and then weld it properly. Then after I've done that, I've got to manufacture a panel to come down the bottom of here, finish that off, and then when that's done, weld on the A-post repair panel, which will finish the job off quite nicely. The outer sill is now plug welded on. That was quite a time consuming job. As you can see, there were 82 holes on that sill, and that meant 82 plug welds. They've all gone rather well. Some of them look a bit ugly, but by the time they're ground down, they'll be good. And the main thing is I've got really good penetration through the panels. The bottom hinge, that was really a job and a half. I had to have the door on and off at least half a dozen times to make sure that that was in the right place before I welded it on. And I had to do a lot of fettling. I had to elongate the holes in the new hinge plate, and generally mess about with it to get it so that the door gaps are going to be anywhere near right. Once I've ground down all the welds on the outer sill, I've got a little panel to manufacture to come down here just to finish the front part of the A-post, and then the A-post cover will go on there and be welded on, and that will finish that part of the job off. Moving to the back of the car, got the bottom of the B-post that's got to be welded into place. That will go in there, and then the front of the B-post, there's a little panel that goes on there. And once those are welded in, I can then finish off the rear wheel arch. One or two little plug welds to go in there. Then the sill cap will go in there, go right in and weld it on, and then the front of the sill goes in there, like so. That will be welded on, and then the job will be finished. Big milestone today. I've just finished fitting the plates to the rear of the sill and to the back panel, and this side of the car, the passenger side, is now complete. The rear panel is welded up, and the work inside the bottom of the B post is put back in. A post is done, the sills all there, and the welds have been ground down. There's still quite a bit of work to do on it, in as much as it needs filling and sanding smooth so that ready for paint, but for the time being, all the big job of welding the new panels on is over. So this side of the car is done, and I'm now going to move over to the driver's side, which is a lot worse.